Today I'm going to be cooking a Goan fish curry called Fish Caldin. Let's go! The word Caldine comes from the Portuguese word caldo, caldeirado, like a stew. And this is a beautiful example of how Goan flavors and Portuguese flavors have come together into this mild and flavorful fish curry. So I'm heating the pan here. And I'm going to use the coconut oil. If you don't have a coconut oil, then it's best to use a neutral oil, like a vegetable oil, to form the base of the curry. So coconut oil normally solidifies in room temperature. So I just melted it. Coconut oil, it's very light and it really enhances the flavors of the dish. So oil, and next to go in will be sliced onion. So the texture of this gravy is a bit chunky and coarse, hence I've sliced the onion. So if you want to make a sauce or a gravy with very fine texture, then you'll chop or grate the onions. But let's check if the oil is hot. We want a little sizzle. Yes, you can see a little sizzle here. Yes, it's sizzling. They will start dancing soon. So I'm just going to put some sliced onions. And I'm going to saute these onions for maybe 3 to 4 minutes till they're golden brown. We want a nice light caramelization of the onion. We don't want a deep brown because we're making a fish curry, which has a mild flavor. And we're going to add some coconut milk. So we don't want very deep brown onions to give a very deep color to the dish. So after this, I'm going to add some fresh garlic, which I have chopped. You can also use garlic paste. And this dish, like I said, caldine, comes from the Portuguese word caldo, caldeirado, which is like a stew. The Portuguese ruled Goa for about 450 years, and they've left a huge culinary legacy in Goa, and has had a huge impact on the dishes. I'm going to use some chilies, and it was the Portuguese who brought chilies to India from the Americas. So I can't imagine Indian food without chilies. But apparently, we use black pepper to add, for the heat that comes from the chili. So we will going to fry this till it's golden brown. I've been sauteing these onions for 2 to 3 minutes. They're changing color now. Here's a quiz for you. What are the 3 or 4 things that the Portuguese introduced to India or to Goa? Number 1, I've mentioned it. Chilies. Number 2, tomatoes. And number 3, they also introduced the use of vinegar in cooking. You know, the vindaloo is a Portuguese introduction. Traditionally, Goan cuisine or the Indian cuisine use tamarind. I'm going to be using tamarind in the dish, but the use of vinegar in cooking. And the 4th one, guess, is bread making technique. So Goan cuisine use a lot of power, and that comes from the Portuguese. So you can see the color of the onions is changing, the caramelizing, nice golden brown. I'm just going to give it another 1 minute, and then I'm going to add some garlic. So take some garlic cloves, you can grind them or chop them finely. And this again then is creating the base of the dish. So we are adding layers and layers of flavor. I'm going to add the chilies. If you don't want it too hot, then of course you can remove the seeds from the green chili. But it's good to have a bit of heat because we are going to be adding some coconut milk, which is sweet. So the chilies and the tamarind that I'll be using balances the sweetness. So Indian dishes are all about balancing flavors. So just to recap, we used coconut oil, sliced onion, garlic and green chilies. This dish has got a beautiful mild mellow flavor. And like I said earlier, it's the bridge between the more milder European stews and the more intensely flavored Indian curries. The recipe and dishes and history about how different cultures and the Portuguese influenced Indian cuisines in my book, Flavours Without Borders. Next, I've got some fresh tomatoes. The quality of tomatoes has to be good because we are not going to be using tin tomatoes. So you want nice, red, juicy tomatoes chopped up to go in the... Oh, look at that. Can you hear the sizzle? Beautiful. You know, when you're cooking, for me, it's like an orchestra. It's like everything coming together. The sound, the smells, and of course then the flavors. It's a beautiful harmony. And now we are forming, it's cooked, cut in small pieces. And now you just keep mashing it a bit and we are making the base of the gravy. The word curry in Indian cuisine means a dish with a gravy. It comes from the South Indian word kari, K-A-R-I. It's used very differently to the way it has been used, well, in the UK, in England. Every Indian dish normally is referred to as a curry. Whereas when we talk about curry, it means the base or gravy. Any dish with a gravy is a curry. So I'm making the curry for fish caldin. So we're going to cook this on medium heat for about 7 to 8 minutes till the tomatoes, just bashing these pieces a bit so they kind of they release the juices, they cook well, and then they blend with the onion and garlic which is already in the pan. So as you can see, they're slowly blending. The color of the gravy is changing to a nice orange red, and that's what we want. I'm going to find a lid, turn the heat down a bit, and we leave it for about 4 to 5 minutes to cook. So the tomatoes we've been cooking them for about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it for another 2 to 3 minutes. It's really important that it cooks well, it blends well, otherwise you get that raw taste, because this is a really important step to form the base of the gravy. I'm doing this with fish, but you can also do this with vegetables. So you also have a vegetable caldine. You can make a fish caldine. In Goa, before the Portuguese came, Portuguese were there for 450 years. It was predominantly a Hindu state. So you have the Goan Hindu cuisine, and now you have the Goan Portuguese influenced cuisine. And the use of pork in the cuisine is as a result of the Portuguese. So you have dishes like sorpotel and the Goanese chorizo, the sausages, which is as a result of the Portuguese cuisine and its influence in Goa. So for the vegetarians, you can do the same with mixed vegetables. It's really, really delicious. So I've been cooking the tomatoes for about 8 to 10 minutes. It's nicely all mashed up. When you're doing this at home and you find this sticking to the base of the pan, add a little bit of water to prevent it from sticking. So we are now ready to add spices. I'm going to add some turmeric powder, going to add some coriander powder, I'm going to add some cumin powder, right? I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. And some salt. We're going to mix it well. And here we have a lovely masala, which is the spices mix. We're going to let it cook. I didn't add a lot of water because there was a lot of moisture that came from the tomatoes. So it was fine, but like I said, feel free to add a little bit of water. You don't want it to be sticking and burning. The other tip is that you can also take these spices and dissolve them in a little bit of water and then add it to the pan. I'm just going to quickly show you how to do it. So I've added them directly. But the other way is to take a little bit of water and make a little paste with the different spices. So, I added some turmeric, some coriander, some cumin. And what you do is you make a nice paste. And there are two advantages of using this method. One, when you put this in the gravy, in the base, it blends in uniformly. Secondly, if you're not very confident in using spices, then this way the spices don't get burnt when you directly put it in. So this is another way to actually add spices when you're making Indian food. We've been cooking this now for about 3 to 4 minutes. So now I'm going to add the star ingredient where all of them are star. This is a superstar. And that's going to be the coconut milk. So here I have some coconut milk. I've got it from a can of coconut. Traditionally, of course, you will get some fresh coconut, grate it and extract the milk. You have a thicker milk, thinner milk. I've just taken some milk and I'm just going to add this. Beautiful. And you will see how this becomes a lovely creamy blend. So coconut milk is naturally sweet. You've got the kind of the intensity from the spices, and then we are going to mix it all together and it balances it. So the heat from the spices and the creaminess from the coconut milk gives it a beautiful, subtle, but delicious gravy. Okay, I've added the coconut milk. Now, if you find it's a bit thick, just add a little bit of water. So you want enough sauce to cook the fish in. And I'm going to add a bit more. And we will just leave this to come to a boil, and then we'll add the fish. So we're going to add some tamarind. So I've taken some tamarind and I've soaked this in some water, and I'm going to just drain it, take the seeds out. So these are the seeds. Strain it and make a little liquid from it. Now, the strength of the tamarind, can vary depending on how thick the pulp is. We don't want it too strong, otherwise it'll then change the color of the dish. So we will add about maybe 2 tablespoons of this. Tamarind or any souring agent is normally added towards the end of the cooking process, especially when you're adding coconut milk. If you add it too early, then there's a chance that it might split the coconut milk or it slows down the cooking process. And also using tamarind will balance, like I said, it's tangy, it's sour, so it will balance the creaminess. It just finishes the dish beautifully. So I have used to it. I've done this a few times. So I'm just going to hold the seeds and gently pour about 2 tablespoons of tamarind juice. Mix it well. I'm going to do a little taste test to check if the seasoning is fine. So, I think I can add a bit more tamarind. And that's why it's really important to do this towards the end of the cooking, because you can adjust how much you need depending on what's needed, and a little bit more salt. Also, when you add tamarind, you need to check the salt to balance again. It's all about balancing flavors. The gravy or the curry is ready, and we are going to add the pieces of fish. So for fish curry, you will need any firm white fleshy fish. What we do in India is sometimes we apply some turmeric and marinate the fish and then pan fry it. And one of the reasons is also because it's very hot there. So turmeric also acts like an antiseptic. I'm just putting this directly. You can see the beautiful sauce here. Add this directly into the sauce and then let it cook. And we are going to just bring it to a boil. It's bubbling now. Leave it to bubble for a minute. Turn the heat down and let it simmer till the fish cooks. Okay, so our fish caldine is ready. It's simmering. It's the aromas are coming out. I am hungry and I'm ready to eat. So I'm just going to plate it up. Let's go. Ooh, creamy, but with a hint of spice. The fish is cooked beautifully. And a little bit of oomph from the chilies and the black pepper. This is a delightfully delicious dish. This is a bridge between the Indian curry and the European stew. And a lovely, lovely example of how Portuguese and Indian flavors and techniques have come together. So you can enjoy it like a stew or have it with some rice or with some pao. I'm going to garnish this with some fresh coriander leaves. Thank you for watching. This is Radhika for the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel.